My name is Ruben E. Delgado. E means for Ernest. I'm a professional engineer, and my title in Collin County is Director of Engineering. I'm the only Director of Engineering Collin County has ever had. I received that title in 1995 when the Director of Public Works retired and the Commissioner's Court, whom I report to, and the County Administrator I report to also. At that time there was no county administrator, so the Commissioner's Court created the Department of Engineering. I started working for Collin County in January of 1982, the first week. So that pretty much tells you that I've been here over 31 years. In the 31 years that I've been here, the county has changed tremendously. It's one of the fastest growing counties in the state of Texas. In my 31 years here, we came from a very rural type county with a population of approximately 170,000. And the population of Collin County today is over 808,000. So just putting a figure to it, it's more than a fourfold increase in population. Been very happy with my job. I feel that I have contributed a lot to our area and our region and the things that I do. Coincidentally, one of these things were not just planned as they came along. We've had, unique to Collin County since 1981-82, we've had what we call a thoroughfare plan, which is our tantamount to comprehensive plans in Collin County. And compared to the cities, we have a plan that tells us how we're going to progress with our transportation infrastructure in the future. So we update that plan every 5 years or so. Our 1981-82 thoroughfare plan showed that 121 was going to be a freeway. Well, people didn't really believe that back in 1982, but now we know that it's a reality. One of the projects that I'm quite proud of course, is that was shown in that mobility plan in those years is the Dallas North Tollway extension, service roads from State Highway 121 to 380 and Prosper. That was about a 10-year process. We, the county, working together with the cities of Frisco, Plano, Texas Transportation Authority, TxDOT, partnered and collaborated and pooled our resources to build 2 service roads all the way to, from 121, about a 14-mile stretch, I believe, to US 380. As a result of our efforts, later on in the years, the North Texas Toll Road Authority built a toll road all the way to 380. So now you can get on US 380 and travel all the way down to Dallas on a toll road. So I started that project in 1992, and per the terms of the right-of-way that the landowners contributed at no cost to us, I completed those service roads within an 8-year period. Had a 10-year window, and I believe the toll roads were completed about 5, 6, 7 years later. So we have forged and provided many things that working together and collaborating with our cities and our transportation agencies that have borne great fruit to our county. So you can say that those service roads I'm quite proud of, along with, as I mentioned before, the rural bridges in the county. The other thing that we planned as part of our mobility plan, which at that time was called a thoroughfare plan, but now it's called a mobility plan. And we're updating it as I've discussed right now. We're updating that plan, which will be our blueprint, our guide, up to the year 2054. So we expect to complete that this year, this December, hopefully. And we're going through a series of public meetings this month to inform the public of what our vision is, what the numbers show, what our demographics look like, what kind of transportation systems that we will need for the next 2020 to 2035, and ultimately to 2054. Right now, as I mentioned before, our population in our county, 2013 is 808,000. The latest figures that we looked at last week shows that our population, our ultimate growth population, will be almost 2.1 million, and that's in about the year 2000 and 2050. So we look at a figure of over 2 million people, roughly about 40 years from now, and we start thinking about where we're going to put all these people on our highways, how we're going to fit them on. We already know that our highways are congested, and you start thinking about, well, if we put 4 times as many of that, it's really going to get bad. So the importance that what I'm trying to emphasize now is that it's important to plan. Just like we did back in 1982 with our first plan, we planned it and we knew that we're going to have a large growth, and we invested bond money. So similarly, this plan is going to show us where our resources are today, what kind of resources we have today, what kind of resources we will need to accommodate this growth in our county for the next 20, 30, 40 years. So this plan will be probably my last one. I've been here 31 years, and it'll be the blueprint that hopefully the people that follow me in this position, and the commissioners and body politic, will look at it to plan ahead what we need to do to accommodate this large growth we're going to have in our county. So those are the projects that I've worked on, some of the highlights, things that we've done in the past that I'm very proud of in our county. And the thing I like to say is that always plan. Like I tell the folks that I work with, says if you don't plan, you're going to fail. So always plan, look ahead, work together, collaborate, form good partnerships, and that's pretty much it. And success will follow if you do that.
So, talking about planning, what are you planning for your future after you're done with working for the county? Well,
I've been an engineer since I graduated from Texas A&M in 1969 as an aerospace engineer. So you could say that I've been an engineer for almost 43 years. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of Texas, a civil structural engineer. I worked in the aerospace industry for 3 years building egress subsystems on high-performance jets for 3 years, and I changed careers in 1972, became a civil structural engineer. I worked as a consultant engineer for 10 years, so that'll be probably one of the things that I will do when of course, I don't believe in retirement. I just believe in doing something else. That'll be my other career, going back to what I did before as a consulting engineer. So I'll probably consult on transportation, things that I've worked with for all these years. So my expertise, I'll put that to work. But of course, I'll have other things to do. I have other hobbies, like guitar playing, playing golf, collecting stamps, going to auctions, and of course part of my entertainment is gaming, or people call it gambling, which is a lot of fun. That's one of the things that relaxes me and takes my mind off of things that may stress me out. So there are many things I can do, many interests. I will always continue with those things. So
you taught yourself how to play guitar. When did you do that?
I probably started with my family when I lived in Plano. I just picked up a guitar and started picking at it. And I have a little sense of music, so I would say I've been working at it and enjoying it, I'd say, since probably the mid to late 80s. Okay. And I do okay now. So I do play. One of my favorites, of course, is soft, easy lullabies, classical music, and a lot of flamenco. And I play some of that by ear. So I really enjoy doing that.
And you also mentioned some auctions that you like to go to. What kind of auctions do you go to?
Well, I've been going to auctions pretty much for many, many years. I started going to auctions like the kinds they have on Storage Wars. When they used to have some here in the county, I used to buy things there. And then probably in the last 15, 20 years, maybe more than that, I started going to United States Marshals auctions, and one of my interests is jewelry. I bought lots of jewelry. I still have that. Made some real good investments in jewelry. Still have it. Sold some of it. It's a praise in value. But the last auction I went to was the United States Marshals auction, and it just seems like everything fell in place for me to acquire a 2009 GT500 Shelby Cobra, which I was a successful bidder on it. Pretty brand new car, so I still have it. I drive it occasionally, and that turned out to be a real good deal.
And fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a fast car.
And you mentioned stamp collecting. I remember going to stamp shows with you. So you still go to stamp shows?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'll be going to one March the 2nd and 3rd. I principally collect United States stamps. What I didn't mention before is I was born in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, and my first 6 years of my 6.5, almost 7 years of my life were in Honduras. Didn't know English, learned to speak English in New York City, and I've resided in Texas, except for the brief period that I was in St. Louis as an engineer. I resided in Texas all my life. My formative years, elementary, junior high school, or in San Antonio. And when I went to Texas A&M, of course, my base was San Antonio, Texas. And then I left there. I married Tricia Delgado. I have two beautiful children, Fran Delgado and Matt Delgado, and they were born in Lufkin, Texas, deep in the piney woods. And we moved from Lufkin when Matt was just a little baby, about 6 months old. I really enjoy the area, love the area. Have a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues, so very proud, very happy in public service. Don't make a lot of money at it, but the important thing is that we have contributed something to our society here.
All right. Thank you.